Basically, we need, like I was saying, we need to extend the wires. So, because the stock time you wrap, give it 4 or 5 wraps in a toroid ring, it uses up quite a bit of wire. So basically, I just need to add an extension. So I've got these female jumpers that you can buy. I got them on eBay with an FDI USB that I had. So I ordered a couple. So I got a few of these. They're about the same gauge, a little bit bigger, but they're not like servo leads. They're more stiffer, and I find they're easy to twist up because they're pretty much just like this. More of a plastic coating than a silicone, like your normal servo wire. And I always said I vowed not to solder after 2 a.m. But here it is. It is 2:30. So this is pretty straightforward. There's no crossing voltages or anything like that. It's just couple wire extensions. We just tin our wires. We just have to tin our wires lightly. That. We do our plug side. Get this in shot. Yeah, I don't know how to tin wires, so there we go. Next, we got to do our extension wires. Should be able to fit these in here like this, maybe. One of the things about FPV that I like is actually building, or not building stuff, but soldering and making stuff custom. Part of the hobby. Actually, I think, I don't know what the percentage of working on stuff versus flying, but it seems like you're doing a lot of stuff in the shop for the amount of time that we fly. Well, for us anyways, up in the, when we're living in our igloos during the winter months. So we're going to need a few pieces of heat shrink. We're going to need 8 small pieces total before we we need to put 2 pieces on for each wire. There's actually 2 solder connections. We're going to need, before I forget, we're going to need another piece like that. I do like soldering late at night though, actually. It's pretty quiet. Yep. Put that on. Put the rest of the wires in through there after. Okay. Usually what I do, once you get one done, you have to heat shrink it. I just like finishing it as I go along. Don't need to be particular. Just make sure you get a good connection. I would never get out the heat gun just for something like this. Usually I'd use my soldering iron, but I got a lighter on hand. And as I was saying, we need to put it over on this side, seeing the wires are longer. That. So our next one we're going to do is black. Seeing it's the next one in line on the plug. We just need our two wires, or two small pieces of heat shrink. For the black one, I'm going to use blue. Seeing it's the closest. This is dark color. There we go. We'll move it down and we'll put it to our black wire. Get the wire straight as possible. So you don't have a crooked connection. You don't want to forget your pieces of heat shrink, because you have to take it all apart, even though I'm sure we've all done it before. Especially our two pieces or big pieces, because if you get all of them done, then you realize then there's just more work. We'll do our white next. Our white is in line next. And I'll just use the other red wire. And that goes to our white. You just don't want to, you don't want right now to put the green, because you'd cross it over and you'd be wondering why your GPS is not working. Especially if you cross the red with the black, because it's positive and negative. It's only 3.3 volts, I believe, but still, it's enough. You don't want to see no smoke when you put it into your $200 OSD. Another piece of heat shrink. Straighten it out a bit. It's good. Good by me. And we'll come over and we got our green. It's not to my liking. With that shard, like it's kind of, it was sharded off. It's not that you shard it in your pants. Sometimes late at night, do I think I'm a comedian? I don't know. If you don't know what sharded means, well, I don't know. This is a kids program, so. So, we'll just make sure we got everything legit here. So we got green to green, or white to white, or red to red, or black to black. Alright, looks good by me. Just put our, you could just leave it like that, but I like to just double it up. You never know, you need that extra protection. For a GPS, It's recommended to have them twisted up and throw a ring, ferret ring on the ferrite or whatever, and a ferret. Twist it up, and this and it cancels any noise going to your GPS. So if you're having trouble getting lock issues, twist your wires and put one of those rings on there, and it should work. Or take it away from your VTX or anything else that's screaming noise. Cameras. You put it by your receiver, because this is actually a receiver. It receives, it doesn't transmit. Good enough. I don't really have trouble once your GPS gets a lock. It has a battery in it, and it's for memory, and it remembers. Usually you see in the bottom of some of them have a little like watch battery. That's for the internal memory. It remembers. Sometimes when you have a new GPS, it take it out on a clear day for about a half hour. And just let it get its lock. But I don't have the gun going. So anyways, that's just a little quick how to extend your GPS wire. Like I was saying, the next video will be, I should have the fuselage glued together. And I also have to put my barometric sensor in. So basically, it's just gives a more accurate altitude reading than the GPS on the Dragon OSD. So this is pretty accurate. So I just got a little bit of foam, because you got to keep it out of light and out of airflow. So I'll put that up there somewhere on the roof. But yeah, next step is to get this installed and put the fuselage together, and then the motor, plug it up. The ailerons and everything are in the wing. The wing is together. So once I get the motor, and we'll be ready for a maiden and get the CG correct. I got to see how the batteries and what I'm using for now. I'm going to use 2 3000 4-cells in parallel. I do have a plug made up for 3, but what I might do, so I made a parallel. I just made this up there last year or something. So I can run 3 batteries in parallel. So if I put 3 3000s, that's 9000 milliamps in there. And the new Turnigy batteries are pretty light, so. But the Skywalker's good for a bit of weight, so we'll see. I was looking at Ready Made RC has some 8000 4-cell batteries, so a great big, just one. So I might invest in 1 or 2 of those. They're about $80 each though, so we'll see how that goes in the spring or whatnot. But for the first little while, just first couple flights is going to be line of sight anyways, and test everything out and go from there. So anyways guys, thanks for watching.